Steph Curry's life might look perfect from the outside: NBA superstar, multimillionaire, a dream family, and endless records, but what if I told you there's so much more to his life than basketball and fame? Most people think they know him, but his daily routines, personal values, and the surprising choices he makes reveal a side of him that's not often talked about. Let me break it down for you, like one friend sharing a story with another. Trust me, by the end, you'll see Steph Curry in a way you never expected. Steph doesn't start his day like most superstar athletes. You'd think he'd be up at 5 a.m. hitting the gym while the rest of the world sleeps, but that's not Steph. He wakes up around 8 a.m., and the first thing on his mind isn't basketball, it's family. Steph's mornings are all about spending time with his wife, Aisha, and their kids Riley, Ryan, Cannon, the youngest, Caius. Breakfast is a family affair, and while it's simple fruit, cereal, eggs, and maybe a smoothie, it's not just about the food. It's about being there, fully present for the little moments. Steph is a hands-on dad, and it's clear that his family comes first, even in the middle of a demanding career. Once the breakfast plates are cleared, it's time for Steph to hit the court. Now, his training is anything but ordinary. Steph doesn't just practice for the sake of it. Every drill is designed to improve something specific. He works on his shooting, ball handling, and footwork, of course, but what sets him apart is his focus on mental training. Steph uses neurocognitive exercises to sharpen his mind and reaction time, which is part of why he can sink those impossible shots under pressure. And while his workouts are intense, Steph is smart about them. He knows when to push himself and when to stop, which is why he's been able to stay at the top of his game for over a decade. After his training sessions, Steph shifts his focus to recovery. This is a part of his routine that doesn't get much attention, but it's one of the reasons he's still playing at such a high level. Yoga is a big part of his regimen, helping him stay flexible and avoid injuries. He also gets regular massages and sometimes even sneaks in a nap to recharge. For Steph, recovery isn't about taking a break, it's a key part of staying strong, both physically and mentally. Evenings in the Curry household are surprisingly normal. While you might imagine Steph attending glamorous events or rubbing elbows with celebrities, most of the time he's home with his family. Dinner is a sacred time for the Currys, and Steph makes it a priority to be there as often as he can. They're not just eating, they're talking, playing games, and genuinely enjoying each other's company. Sundays are especially meaningful. They always try to attend church together. Faith has been a cornerstone of Steph and Aisha's relationship since they first met as teenagers in a church youth group. Even now, with all their fame and responsibilities, they make sure to keep that part of their lives front and center. When it comes to food, Steph's diet is surprisingly simple and balanced. He sticks to meals that give him long-lasting energy, lean proteins, veggies, and whole grains, but he's not overly strict. And with Aisha being a professional chef, you can bet the food in their house is next level good. Steph enjoys her cooking, and while he's mindful about staying healthy, he's not afraid to indulge every now and then. His approach to food is like his approach to life: balanced, practical, and sustainable. But Steph's life isn't just about basketball or family. He's also a savvy businessman and a dedicated philanthropist. Over the years, he's invested in tech startups, co-founded a production company, and launched his own brand, Under Armour. He's not just chasing profits, though. Many of his projects are aimed at making a difference. For example, he's a strong advocate for women's sports and has funded programs to create opportunities for young female athletes. Through his foundation, he's supported education initiatives, built community resources, and worked to provide better opportunities for underprivileged kids. Steph doesn't just talk about giving back, he actually does it. And it's clear that making a positive impact is a huge part of what drives him. What's incredible about Steph is how humble he remains despite everything he's achieved. Think about it, he's won multiple NBA championships, broken countless records, and revolutionized the way basketball is played, yet he still comes across as grounded and approachable. He's quick to credit his teammates, coaches, and family for his success, and he doesn't let the fame go to his head. In interviews, he's just as likely to crack a joke or share a story about his kids as he is to talk about his accomplishments. One thing that stands out about Steph is his resilience. Early in his career, a lot of people doubted him. Scouts said he was too small, too fragile, and that his game wouldn't translate to the NBA. But instead of letting the criticism get to him, Steph used it as motivation. He worked harder, proved the doubters wrong, and went on to change the game entirely. Now, he's not just a player, he's a cultural icon. Kids all over the world try to shoot like Steph, and even NBA teams have had to adapt their strategies because of how he's reshaped the sport. And yet, Steph never lets his influence or success overshadow the things that matter most to him. His faith is a huge part of his life. He often talks about how his Christian beliefs guide him both on and off the court. You've probably seen the phrase "one can do all things" written on his sneakers. That's from Philippians 4:13, a Bible verse that means a lot to him. For Steph, faith isn't just a private thing, it's woven into everything he does. It's part of why he stays grounded, even with all the pressures of being a global superstar. But it's not just the big things that make Steph relatable, it's the small moments too. Whether he's joking around with his teammates, celebrating a big shot with his signature shimmy, or playfully competing with Ayesha on social media, there's a lightheartedness to him that fans love. He's serious about his work, but he doesn't take himself too seriously. And that's a big part of his charm. So when you think about Steph Curry, don't just think about the guy who drains impossible threes and breaks records. Think about the dad who wakes up every morning to spend time with his kids, the husband who supports his wife's dreams, and the man who uses his platform to give back to the world. Steph's life might look perfect from the outside, but what makes him truly special is how he balances it all with grace, humility, and heart. That's what makes him not just a great athlete, but a great person. And honestly, isn't that what really matters? Steph Curry isn't just a basketball legend, he's a dedicated family man, a humble leader, and someone who's using his platform to make a real difference. From his incredible work ethic to his commitment to his faith and family, Steph's life proves that success is about more than just trophies and records. It's about staying true to who you are and lifting others up along the way. If you found his story as inspiring as we did, make sure to hit the like button, share this video, and leave a comment about your favorite Steph Curry moment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss more stories like this one.